All right, we've made it to the main event right now as Brandon Suber is making his way to the cage, and this is a guy that we have seen in some battles as well. Tough to get a grip on him, tough to score any damage on him. We saw him in a great fight against Mark Lemminger in which Suber broke Lemminger's nose. So Suber is definitely game and definitely a tough fighter. So we're looking forward to this one and seeing him at the top of the card. Suber, as tough as he has been, has lost 3 straight, 2 by decision and 1 in that controversial submission to Mark Lemminger just about a year and a half ago in Chosen Few Fighting Championships. Number 10, we saw him lose to Craig Eckelberg back here in January of this year. Oh, there's Suber in the cage. Now here comes a crowd favorite in Patrick
Next
Delgado.
Up, his opponent, Patrick Delgado.
Interesting to note that in the background of our last fighter, Darren Oler, was a hockey background. Believe it or not, Patrick Delgado has a soccer background. Played soccer at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, a UW-Madison guy. Once taught at Monkey Bar Gym in Madison, now teaches and owns Fearless MMA in Janesville, and it's hard to talk over all of the noise that the crowd is making here at Monona Terrace for this guy. Definitely a crowd favorite. We saw him defeat Darren Oler back in Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 10. That was in a unanimous decision back on January 14th of 2017. Patrick Delgado making his way to the cage. One more look at the Carbon World Health tail of the tape. And then it is fight time. Delgado and Suber. Let's go to the cage. And one, Chris Garrity with the introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is brought to you by Harley-Davidson of Madison and sanctioned by the Department of Safety and Professional Services Program Director Matt Reynolds. Your cage side physician for this bout, Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. Your judges, Melody Wickers, Anthony Zamatalo, and Gabriel Sabetis, with timekeeper Micah Coppice, and the man in charge of this bout, veteran referee Tom DeVellis. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, this is your main event of the evening. 3 rounds in the Chosen Few welterweight division. Introducing first, this man fighting on the Coliseum Bar red corner. He weighed in at 164 pounds. He hails from Dayton, Ohio. In 15 bouts, he has 7 victories and represents Walker Mixed Martial Arts, Brandon Suber. His opponent is this man, fighting out of the Harley-Davidson of Madison blue corner. In 7 professional bouts, he has 4 victories. He weighed in at 164 ready pounds. He hails from Janesville, Wisconsin, and represents Fearless Mixed Martial Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick the Ghost Delgado.
The Ghost trying to rise here tonight against Suber, as Delgado a big crowd favorite in his last bout, though he lost in a split decision to another crowd favorite, that in Mark Lemminger. So Delgado, when I talked to him before the fight, he told me it's not going to be like the Oler Amatushin fight. He expects this to be a grinding match against Brandon Suber.
Well, right away we see Suber circling what would generally be considered the wrong direction. He's circling right into Delgado's power. All he's got to do is let loose on that right hand or a big right high kick or body kick, and he can really hurt Suber right now. Suber just walking just willingly right into that quote-unquote wrong spot.
Yeah, Delgado felt as well that as tough as Suber is and as hard as he is to get a grip on, he thinks what Suber does actually plays right into his strengths. And one of those things is what you're talking about right there. He's walking right into his power side.
Right, if I'm in Delgado's corner right now, Suber comes in with those little padding jabs. I'm telling him to parry that jab and just throw a right hand right down the middle, because Suber is lining himself up right down the pipe for Delgado's power shot.
Good left there by Delgado. Both guys have fought Mark Lemminger, both with varying success, I guess, as Delgado a loser in a split decision. Suber lost in a controversial type matchup as he broke Lemminger's nose, had Lemminger hurt. Then the ref kind of broke them up, brought them both back to their feet. As soon as that happened, Lemminger was able to strike and get a victory in that one. But they broke it up when Suber had control of Lemminger, and some people felt it was kind of controversial. But Lemminger continued on his winning path at that time.
And now still we see kind of a feeling out process. They got clinched up for a second, but both guys really trying to find where their range is, how far they want to come in. And then we see Delgado stepping in with that jab as Suber steps in for a punch of his own. And there he goes with that right high kick. Nice little hook, touch the chin of Suber.
Delgado, a teacher of jiu-jitsu, and definitely expects to use it here tonight against Suber. You see he's a pretty accomplished striker as well, as I'm actually kind of surprised that Suber right now hasn't gone for takedowns. He's a grinder and a guy who likes to get down on the ground.
Right, and just earlier we saw Delgado finally let that right hand go. Nice little stepping elbow. Suber gets out of there, but I think if Suber wants that takedown, he's got to get a little more active with those hands. Stop circling to his left, circle to the right a little bit, and get a hold of that lead leg of Delgado. Delgado, I think, could do well here to establish a nice long jab, maybe pepper him from the outside before he opens up with some more combinations.
Good left there by Delgado. Delgado, a second-generation combat sport kind of a guy. His dad was a boxer and also a kickboxer in the old PKA days.
Yep, and that being the Point Karate Association.
Nice.
So a little bit different style of kickboxing than your Glories or Muay Thai boxing, but an effective martial art nonetheless. Still a lot of tough guys coming out there. My own coach, Duke Rufus, from back in those early kickboxing days, we say Delgado land a nice right. Now they're tied up.
Big right to the chin of Suber, and now Suber trying to hold on. Is actually that big right cut him. There's a cut over the left eye of Brandon Suber as he got caught big time by Delgado, and now Delgado and Suber grappling here a little bit. This is the kind of grind that Patrick Delgado thought this match would become.
There we go. We see him get that little leg lace takedown, and now he steps right into mount. Great spot for Delgado. You see him cinching up his legs here, trying to establish control. Suber trying to turn one way. He's giving up his back right here. That might be under the chin.
And if it is, this is big trouble for Brandon Suber. Delgado holding on here to a rear choke, and does he have it in? No, Suber able to get away. Suber, one of those guys that is really good at escaping, but he might not escape that. No, he got out of one and walked right into another, and Patrick Delgado, to the thunderous roar of the sold-out crowd here at Monona Terrace, gets a first-round victory by the chokehold. Big win by Patrick Delgado as we take a quick look at the replay and the finish for Delgado, as there is the chokehold, sets it in on Suber, he taps out, and Delgado back on the winning track with a win against a tough opponent here in our main event.
Here we see Delgado has the back. He's trying to get that rear naked choke. You don't need the hooks in if you have the neck secure, but Suber does a good job pushing that elbow. See his chin gets free right there. As soon as Suber shoots for that little head outside single, Delgado snatches up that neck, and it's all she wrote.
He got out of one choke right into the other, out of the frying pan and into the proverbial fire. Zuber choked out. Let's go to the cage.
Comes at 4 minutes, 16 seconds of round number 1. Your winner by guillotine choke, Patrick the Ghost Delgado.
Delgado giving this sold-out crowd what they wanted, and that was a victory for Patrick Delgado. He talks to Chris Garrett.
Submission. You initially had him in a rear naked choke with no hooks in. Couldn't finish the job, but then you sunk in that guillotine. How'd you feel that first round?
Oh man, I knew Brandon was so tough. He's just a crazy, awesome competitor. And I knew I probably wouldn't get him in the first or second submission attempt. So I wanted to be really mobile, really fluid, so whatever he did, I wanted to stay glued to him and keep attacking. So that's kind of what I did. I knew he was going to choke jab in the choke, but I was trying to get him to open up to something else. And then he turned into me, and I was like, yes. So that's like my move. I let ask everyone at the gym, they know that move pretty well.
Well, you have a lot of fans here tonight, and they're glad to see you win in our main event. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause. Your main event winner, Patrick Delgado.
I love you guys. Thank you. Love you, Janesville. Madison, love you all.
Well, if you're in the Madison or Janesville area, you know this face very well. Patrick Delgado has been in chosen few fights before. This time he takes on Brandon Zuber, gets the win. A quick fight. We maybe didn't expect that, but you know, a fight that ended very quickly. So kind of walk us through. You ended up, it looked like you started in like a rear naked choke. Zuber slipped out, and then you end up going into what they call the guillotine. So how did you get into that position?
Yeah, okay, so I had him on the fence, and I was pressuring into him. I wanted to get the sweep, but he was defending pretty well. I know he's got a Greco-Roman background, so I knew the upper body stuff was going to be hard on him, so I did a low leg trip on him, an outside leg trip, and then got him down. Went for the choke. I knew that he was going to be really good. He's very good at defending from all the tape I've watched on him.
Yeah.
And I was just ready to go from one submission to another, to another, to another, to another. That's just my style. And so when he scooted out of the choke, I went for the, it's called the Marcellotine. I got for the crooked guillotine. And once I had it, I knew it. And so I dove in for it, and it was done. It was done. And I get that one all the time. That's like one of my signatures. So
Yeah, so it felt pretty good.
yeah, once I had it, I was like, yes, I got it. I knew this Zuber, he's a tough guy, and he's a grinder. I didn't really want to have that random fight.
Yeah,
but
right.
If I could finish it early, I was going to try for it.
Yeah. So the last time we saw you was chosen few 12. You took on Mark Lemminger. It was ended up going to a split decision. I know you were disappointed the way that one ended because it was a medical thing too. So how does it feel to like end it? Not only did it not have to go to the card, and you were able to end it by your own decision. So I guess just the feelings of finishing it and being like, good, I did it how I wanted to do it.
Yeah, it's exhilarating to get a submission, obviously, and to get a finish. I really wanted to go out and make a statement. I wanted to go and show off my jiu-jitsu skills. I'm a black belt, and I haven't had a submission in a few fights, so I wanted to go and show that, demonstrate that, and bring it back to my roots. Couple of my guys were here. Jose won, and Gonzalo won too. All three of us won tonight. So great show of jiu-jitsu tonight. It was awesome, and so I couldn't be happier. My whole Janesville crowd came in, and the tons of people from Madison were cheering me on too. I felt the love, I felt the energy. It was awesome.
Yeah, as an instructor, for sure, to see your athletes succeed too. So then, what's next for you?
Whatever Josh Sterry wants from me. This guy, he's amazing. He's always been working with me. He doesn't ever pressure me into fight right away. He's really good working with the fighters. I feel like the Chosen Few Fighting Championships is the best card in Wisconsin, the best event. Not just saying that because I'm on it right now and I just won and I'm on a high. But I really do. He treats the fighters so well. He goes out of his way, with media, with ticket sales. It's just a great event all the way through and through. So I'd love to keep fighting here. So we'll guess whatever he wants from me, and we'll talk more and hopefully be back soon.
All right. Well, again, congratulations and good luck in the future.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Patrick Delgado.